Hello everyone. In today's video, it's going to be about traveling from Iloilo to Cebu via an airliner. This shows the ultimate guide from what you're going to ride based on every point of locations and tips of what to do and so much more. Come in and join me for this wonderful trip. Starting from our original home point where the journey begins, we'll be kicking off from Tigbauan. First, we need to take public transportation from Tigbauan to Iloilo City. You can ride a bus, jeepney, or in rare cases, a shared taxi. Take note, if you're coming from the west side, away from Iloilo City, many public transportation routes often stop first at Mohan Terminal rather than going directly to the city. However, some series liner buses do go directly to Iloilo City, though that's usually limited to stops near Festive Mall in Mandurriao. From Mohan, you'll have two main options for transport moving forward, a bus or a taxi. If you choose a taxi, it will take you directly to the airport, which is fast and convenient. However, taxis are generally more expensive, with fares ranging from 300s to 500s for a special trip, meaning the taxi only serves you and won't pick up other passengers. Important tip: be extra cautious when taking taxis. Some drivers may overcharge, especially if they notice you're a tourist, whether you're a foreigner or a local, but not from the area. It's not uncommon for them to charge double or even triple the normal price, so always ask the fare beforehand or request a meter reading if available. On the other hand, if you choose a bus, your trip might take a bit longer. Buses usually loop around various stops like Mohan, Atria, and Festive, making what could be a 15-minute ride stretch into 40 minutes or more. It feels like you're going in circles instead of a straight line. But the big advantage is affordability. Especially if you're a student, you can get a discounted fare. I remember paying just 24s with a student ID, which is a big difference compared to taxi rates. Though, it still depends on the traffic and what time you depart. Let's assume you ride the bus during rush hour. The travel time could reach up to 40 to 50 minutes. But when it's off-peak hours, it could take 30 minutes or even less. And most importantly, once you arrive at SM City Iloilo, look for the terminal station, which is typically in front or beside the main entrance, where you'll see jeepneys, multi-cabs, and vans parked. Take note, the only van available there is the one going to the airport, and that's exactly where we're headed. It's basically the last step you'll take to complete your journey all the way to Iloilo International Airport. That van ride usually costs 100 per person and an additional 100 for your luggage, but only if you're carrying something around 20 kilos in size. Good news, if you're a student, you can ask for a discount, and the fare will only cost 80 total, giving you a 20 discount. Also, take note that not everyone on the van is heading all the way to the airport. About half of the passengers usually get off along the route, places like Pavia, Unca, and Santa Barbara. And especially if you're seated next to the door, which I was, be prepared to assist other passengers by opening and closing the door. Sometimes, you might even have to step outside to let someone beside you exit. Anyways, now that I've highlighted every digital guide on how to travel from Tigbauan, let's dive into the actual clips of how I rode all the way through that journey. By the way, since we've already tackled the west side of Iloilo, now it's time to talk about the commute guides from the east side. Take note, I don't often explore much of the east side of Iloilo, so I'll just be sharing what I know based on memory and my understanding of the public transportation in that area. As I remember, if you're coming from the Dumangas area, or mainly from Pasig, or basically anywhere from the eastern side of Iloilo, similar to Mohan, you'll most likely stop at the Ceres northbound terminal. It's one of the biggest Ceres terminals in the region, acting as a major hub for buses heading to the north and east sides. Aside from buses, you'll also find jeepneys, tricycles, and even vans. However, I'm not very familiar with the specific jeepney and van routes. Based on my research, from the terminal you can ride a jeepney with the signage SM City Proper, Leganes, Iloilo City to get into the main city. Also, take note, if you see a jeepney labeled Jaro Liko NFA, CPU, Yaro Manduriao, you can take that too, only if it has a diversion sign, which means it passes by SM City. As for the fare, the regular price is around 13s, but if you're a student, you'll likely pay 10 to 11. Safety and traffic tip. The Ceres northbound terminal is located in one of the most traffic-heavy areas in Iloilo, especially during rush hours, so plan your departure time wisely. Always watch your belongings, especially in crowded jeepneys and terminals. And if you're commuting during the evening or early morning, stick to well-lit areas and be cautious when hailing public transport. Now that we've arrived at Mohon, we're going to take a bus heading to SM Iloilo. And now that we've reached SM, the next step is to ride a van going to the airport. Oh, by the way, I had a hand-carry luggage with me. Back then, they used to charge 100 for it. But nowadays, they usually don't charge anymore, as long as you have space to place it, either on the floor or even just on your lap. And now, we've made it to Iloilo International Airport. The very first thing you need to prepare is your valid ID and your itinerary or flight ticket, or your online boarding pass if you already have one. You'll need to present these to the guards at the entrance in order to get inside the terminal. The next thing to prepare is your belongings. You'll have to empty your pockets and place your bag in the X-ray machine, which is right at the main entrance before reaching the check-in counters. Make sure to remove everything from your pockets, including your phone, coins, wallet, keys, and even receipts. Basically, anything metal or electronic. Once you pass through the X-ray machine and collect your stuff, you'll see 3 airline counters in front of you. Cebu Pacific is on the left, Philippine Airlines is in the center, and AirAsia is on the right. If you have checked baggage, or if you want to get a printed boarding pass, make sure to go to your airline's respective counter first. But if you don't have any baggage to check and already have your online boarding pass, you can go directly to the gate boarding area and wait for your flight. Once you go upstairs, you'll be asked to present your boarding pass again, along with your ID. Then, you'll go through another round of security screening, similar to the one earlier, with an X-ray and body check. After passing through, you can proceed to the passenger waiting area, near your assigned gate. If your gate number isn't assigned yet, just keep an eye on the monitors, or listen to the announcements over the speakers for updates. That's where you'll find your gate number, boarding time, and the status of your flight. About food. If you're looking to buy the best souvenirs, especially when it comes to cakes and affordability, JD is your best choice. But if you're after quality, a better menu, and longer opening hours, then go for Coffee Break. These 2 stores hit the spot inside the airport, and the good thing is, they're right next to each other, in one spot, making it super convenient. Our flight is in 3 hours, so we're just gonna wait it out here, maybe grab a bite, and relax. Upon boarding, Always have your boarding pass and a valid ID ready, as these will be needed when they scan your pass at the gate. Once you get inside the plane, check your seat number first so you know exactly where to go. Here's an extra tip. If you're putting your hand carry items in the overhead compartment, try to place them as close to your seat as possible so it's easier to access later when disembarking. The flight will take about 30 minutes, so let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the view from above. Welcome to Cebu. Now that we've arrived, and considering our plane is a small aircraft, just like what happened in Iloilo, we won't have access to a jet bridge. Instead, they'll have us disembark beside the aircraft, right on the tarmac. Take note, when the plane is small, they usually don't use the jet bridge. Instead, they'll drop you off beside the terminal or airport. And from there, you'll need to take a shuttle bus that brings you to the arrival area. Once you exit the arrival area and step out into the fresh air, this is what you'll see. Since there's only one exit, this is exactly where you'll end up, what they usually call the meetup area. Now, let's talk about how to navigate your way out and where to find public transportation. Right in front of you, you'll see a signboard. So let's take a closer look. The sign shows, on the left side, car park, baggage storage, and the departure area. On the right side, taxis, bus to the city, and rental cars if you plan to drive or explore Cebu. As they always say, left is best. So let's start by exploring the left side. On the left, you'll find a CR, restroom, for all genders. And right in front of you is an elevator that goes up to the departure area. Beside that, you'll see the baggage storage area. And if you go straight ahead, there's a connecting walkway that leads to the new terminal, Terminal 2, which is used only for international flights. It's a bit of a walk, and along that path is the car parking area. So be prepared if you're planning to go that way. Anyway, let's go back and check out the upstairs. Once you climb up the escalator, here's what you'll see. The famous waterfront airport hotel, located right in front of you. It's one of the known airport hotels in Cebu. Also, you'll notice a road in front where taxis drop off departing passengers. You can also take a taxi from there to your destination. But be careful. Some taxis might overcharge, especially if they see you're not local. It's always best to insist on using the meter to avoid paying more than you should. If you go further ahead, you'll see a jeepney or a minibus with the route code MI05A. That route runs from the airport to the Cebu Mactan ferry terminal, passing through key areas in Mactan. At some point, you'll spot a staircase going down. And yes, that's actually a shortcut that leads directly to the bus and other terminal bays, which we'll tackle next on the right side. Now heading to the right side. Along the way, you'll come across some shops and food stalls, perfect if you're hungry or need something quick. This is also where you'll find the car rental area, all in one convenient spot. If you go straight ahead, you'll see a signboard separating two directions. On the left side, you'll find the buses, mostly operated by My Bus, which offer a direct route from the airport to the North Bus Terminal. On the right side, you'll mostly see taxis, and this is also the area where someone picking you up would usually wait. And that wraps up our journey from Iloilo to Cebu. From catching the bus in Tigbauan, navigating terminals, flying out, and finding our way through Mactan Airport. Hope this gave you a better picture of what the whole trip is like. If you enjoyed this kind of travel guide, feel free to check out my channel. I've got a few more trips you might find interesting too. Thanks for tagging along, and I'll see you on the next one.